Anyway, so let's start with the Q&A now. Let's start with some Q&A. Anybody have some questions?
So, Mr. Fong, what is the responsible way when you address your students? What should they think? What should they pursue then?
The question is that what would I recommend them to do, right? I would recommend, well, first of all, right, I already sort of said, you know, a lifelong journey of following Christ, and then have the motivation of love and love God and love neighbor. I've said that already, of course, but I have something else to say. I think the pursuit of excellence is important, right? Instead of pursuing certain roles or certain goals, I think every day when you wake up, and I'm assuming that you subscribe to my beliefs that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so you really focus on doing the best today. So be excellent every day, right? The excellent, I would say, is it's consistent to the motivation of loving, right? You can be excellent in a very crude way, but I'm saying excellent in a loving way. So in a sense, if you're a student, try to be an excellent student. If you're a father, try to be an excellent father, excellent wife, excellent employer, excellent employee, right? Excellent musician. Anything can be excellent. And that brings me to a story that I want to tell you. When I was 10 years old, I have a story, which some psychological books said that things that happen, if you all look back when you were 10 years old, there's certain things that, if you can remember, probably shape the way you are for the rest of your life, supposedly. That's one of these books that you can read. So I look back and I said, wow, there is something that happened when I was 10 years old, and that's the following. As I mentioned, I skipped the grade from elementary school and entered DBS, which is Diabetes and Boys School, in 1968, and that was exactly when I was 10 years old. And I also mentioned that I was top of my class, top 3, when I was in kindergarten and elementary school. Not so when I entered DBS, because that's where all the top students for all the kindergarten and elementary school, right? So I was not doing well in terms of, I was like in the 15, 16, but hey, I mean, I didn't pay much attention to it because I was happy to be in a new school. But the story is very strange. I don't remember exactly why, but of course my parents paid a lot of attention in terms of getting good grades. And that summer, or the final examination, for some reason I made a deal with my father that if I come in within the first 10, I will get a typewriter. I don't know why typewriter. I'm still pondering what happened. Why do I need a typewriter? But don't laugh about it, because I learned typewriting for typewriter class, and I made a lot of money in college typing paper for other students. So to me, that's the reason. But anyway, so the final results came, right? The final report came that year, and I looked at the report, and I was so happy. I was in heaven. Guess what number I came in? What? Number 10. That's right. Number 10. Exactly. So I was so happy, right? So you know, like 10-year-old made my goal, right? I mean, I did it. So I took the report and went back to my father, and I showed him, Dad, look at this, you know. But my dad has no emotion. Basically, okay, you know, he was very nonchalant, and you know, it was very hurting for a 10-year-old to find that out, what I mean, to have experienced that, and I was wondering what happened. So I asked my father. He didn't say things for the first time, but I keep asking repeatedly. Then he just sort of looked up slowly and said, "Son, I can understand if you are number 1. But he said, "You're number 10. Why are you so happy?" Are you really that happy to be number 10? So I guess that's the lesson, is that, I mean, we should ask ourselves, I mean, are we really that happy to be number 10 if we can do a little bit better? But that's consistent to how my father lived. You know, he came to Hong Kong in 1950 with no change of clothes. Actually, he has to send back his sweater because the family is so poor. Because Hong Kong is a little bit warmer back to Shaoxing for the younger sister. And he worked from the bottom up, and then there were a lot of refugees to Hong Kong. But he always said, very proudly told the children that your father had never been out of work for a single day, never borrowed money. In fact, because he was so famous in terms of his performance, that business owner will bring a check in front of him and ask him to join their firm. He said at one time there were 3 business owners sitting in front of him asking him to join the firm. And so his motto is the same thing. He said, I don't really care whether I'm cleaning bathroom or being a waiter. I mean, these are very low-level jobs. His one statement is that if I'm going to clean a bathroom, I'll make sure that no one before me has ever cleaned it better, and no one after me is going to clean it better. So I think you all can understand, right? If anyone operates in that mode, how can they not be successful? I mean, I'm a business owner. If all my employees have that attitude, that's great, right? I mean, we have an incredible company. So I mean, I guess that element of being excellent and really just doing the best and not really worried about position, title, or money. Like I said, those are results, right? That means if you are successful, I always said that, you can't say that I can't find a job because I'm really good. I can't find a job because my business lose money. But this is a great company, but I keep losing money, I'm going out of business. But it's a great company. I mean it's not consistent. But right, if you're really, really good, if you are a great pianist, you will find a job. You'll get a job, right? I mean, if only when you're mediocre, then maybe there's some trouble. So by aiming to be the best and the excellent, I think it's my recommendation to young people, and not be so concerned about title, pay, whatever. Because you'll get your pay, because as a business owner, I value great performance. And if I can't recognize it, you're very marketable, because there will be millions of owners out there looking for you. You should not be worried about ever getting a job if you're really good, right? Don't fool yourself. Again, these are all these myths, but if you're really, really good, you should not worry. To me, that's the facts of life. So that's what I would say. Any more questions?